Alright, all you night driving racers out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. And this week's Stunts of the Week comes from none other than Netflix movies with their stunt, The Mars trailer, and alongside with them, Ellie 1998 with their stunt, Riding Fire. Now, the reason why we decided to pick these two stunts, well, first off, anybody who's able to use real props and even aliens to create a Mars trailer like he did is definitely worth the brownie points that he deserved. And the reason why we picked the other stunt, well, I got a feeling he's gonna need some notoriety after all the skin graft surgery he's gonna need to pay for while he's in the hospital. Cause he is definitely crispier than chicken or Freddy Krueger in this case. Yikes! But besides people getting burned alive during makeshift stunts, folks, I think it's time for us for the first time this decade and this year to get ready to rev our engines and kick off this year of the fist with your cool tracks for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And the first track that we have up, or should I say deathmatch, which comes from none other than ZooV1K87 with his set deathmatch, Blow Me. And I know a couple of you out there are a little bit familiar with this deathmatch and saying to yourselves, DJ Smokey already mentioned this one in prior years. But let's just say, folks, he decided to upgrade it and put more bang for your buck during this set deathmatch, adding not only a whole bunch of tanker trailers, RPGs, grenade launchers, and even a motor tool that you could use if you're able to turn it around in enough time and take out your friends with it as well. And the only tip of advice that we have for you fans out there is run and gun as much as you possibly can, because you can't stay still for long, especially with rockets flying at you at multiple speeds and places. So yeah, just run for your life and try to shoot while you can. The best advice we have for this set track. And the next track that we have up comes from the creator, Cynic Barber, nice name by the way, with their set track, The Death Rays. And this track is probably one of the longest tracks we were able to mention for this year, clocking in at well over 16.78 miles. And the fact that it is not only a long cannonball run-like track, folks, around the town of Los Santos, or the city of Los Santos, but it also includes a barrage of different form of objects and things that you have to avoid while going along during this set race. And the only tip of advice I have for you fans out there is watch out for the different barrage of items that he has lurking about during this set race, including not only a bench, but also a couple of broken down buses and even a couple of rail cars along the way that will trip you up during this set race. But as long as you're able to avoid all that, folks, there is still a high possibility that you could win this race. So if you think you lost, don't give up. Best advice we can give as well during this said race. And the next track that we have up comes from the creator, Cian1, with his said track, Superfly Cian. And this track, besides having the S on the chest logo and the fact that you have to go through a light speed tunnel, it's probably one of the craziest tracks we were able to play for this year. And the only reason we can say that, folks, is because it's a new year. Because we played crazier than this, folks. But the one thing we can tell you guys out there for this set track is this. Make sure you stay centered when you're going through that giant warping tunnel, because if you don't And also, alongside with it, hit right on the D-pad to get out of stunt scene mode, because if you don't as well, there's a high possibility that you'll launch yourself away from the track, and it will cost you during this very race, especially during the giant leap of fate you have to take to make your way to the finish line. So yeah, be careful. And also, make sure your wall riding skills are up to par for this said track as well too, because if you fall anywhere higher or lower, that will also cost you during this race. So yeah, be careful and stay balanced. And the next track that we have up comes from the creator, Super Dave, nice name by the way, with his said track, Jump Highway. And this track, besides being a track after my own heart, is a track that also gives you a speed boost when necessary to make these said jumps. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there during this said super jumping like race is this: be careful on what type of car you pick to jump these bridges, because if you jump too far, there's a high possibility that you're gonna hit a road sign while trying to jump these bridges, or even the possibility that you will miss the jump altogether. So make sure you have a good balance of speed and control during these said races, especially during the snow, because you will be slipping and sliding around during this said track. Just a heads up. And the last but not least track that we have up for this week comes from the creator, Moni16, with their said track, Vertical Insanity number 2. And if any of you race fans out there thought that the first Vertical Insanity was insane, well, you haven't seen its older brother in the form of Virtual Insanity number 2. And the reason why I say that, folks, is because not only it includes 90-degree drops straight down to the road, but it also includes a very hellish incline that you will have to pass during the said track. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there, besides picking a car that is fast enough to actually climb up that incline to make your way to the next part of this roller coaster, is to be careful on what car you decide to use during the said race. And a prime example of that is muscle cars. If you decide to use that, make sure you use the right muscle car that can get you up that said hill, especially in that snow. Because if you don't, let's just say you'll be just like me and my friend Juju and Jay Meeks, sliding up and down the hill for about a good 30 minutes trying to figure out a way how to get out of this mess. So yeah, choose your cars wisely and have fun. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for the first New Year edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week. And just as a heads up for you fans out there, we decided to make a playlist featured with these said tracks entitled Jump 2020 that you can currently play right now on the Rockstar Social Club page as we speak. Yeah, because according to the Maestro, we definitely need to start going back to that. And that's a bit of a heads up for you fans out there. For that playlist, you can earn upwards of well over $100,000 to help you get whatever cool vehicle that recently came out in the game. So you're welcome. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music, and when we return, we'll be back with the final segment for this week's Under the Radar right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.